Listen, the reality is that in some states, those benefits are going to evaporate tomorrow, and when the clock strikes midnight, for folks, especially for folks that can't prove their work history. But other states are going to try to at least give a little bit more of a runway, a little bit more of a buffer before starting to kind of wean people off of these programs.
In tonight's deep dive, major changes for SNAP benefits going into effect.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Especially major. All right, okay. Settle in, settle down. Hope everyone is having a good day. Big Beautiful Bill. Big Beautiful Bill has put a lot of people on the chopping block. Millions of Americans will either lose their SNAP benefits or they will be reduced greatly. A lot of changes are coming as of February 1st. It's already kicked into action. Coming soon to a state near you. Let's get into it.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates that more than 2 million people could lose benefits because of new work requirements and changes to exemptions. It's all part of President Trump's signature tax and spending plan passed last summer.
Under the new laws for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, work requirements have actually increased for thousands of recipients, and thousands more actually have been slashed from even qualifying for the benefits. Government officials are saying that these changes are going to help cut down on the abuse of the system.
The urgency is real. Before now, Illinois had a work requirement waiver for what the law defines as able-bodied adults who applied for SNAP benefits. As of today, that's gone, threatening the ability of hundreds of thousands of people across the state to put food on the table.
Meanwhile, millions of low-income Americans are receiving the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. They're getting hit with a massive change, a lot of them, in fact, that go into effect today. Members must now follow increased work requirements, and it comes as Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill cut nearly $190 billion in funding to the program. The U.S. Department of Agriculture citing these changes will help cut government spending.
Vicky Seats worries about her and her husband's food stamps.
We need the SNAP to help us eat.
While, she says, both qualify for the newly enacted work requirement exemptions, her husband's recent disability has not yet been certified.
He has a mental illness now that just came about, and we're trying to get paperwork now.
The bill also revokes benefits for roughly 1.7 million people, like lawful permanent asylum seekers, even refugees. Also, the federal government is requiring states to pitch in more here. States with a SNAP payment error rate over 6%, meaning they potentially are giving unqualified people benefits, they will be required to cover 5 to 15% of the total benefit costs. That marks a significant shift for 100% federal funding. In total, more than 40 million people receive SNAP benefits. And if you're one of them and you're concerned about these changes, you should be receiving a letter from your local state department notifying you of any changes to your benefits based on your family's individual circumstance.
Our Alex Brochet joins me now, along with Eric Mitchell, the president of the Alliance to End Hunger. Alex, I'll start with you. Break down what's changing overnight.
Well, Andrew, let's start with this work requirement, a new 80 hours per month work requirement for able-bodied individuals. Also, a part of that is now they're for individuals that are aged 18 to 64. Previously, the work requirement capped out at about 55. And for family members that take care of dependents, they used to have an exemption for dependents under the age of 18. Now that has shrunk, and it ends for dependents under the age of 14. We also saw exemptions removed for homeless individuals, veterans, and young adults who are in foster care. Additionally, this bill significantly restricts benefits to only apply to certain lawful permanent residents here. It eliminates eligibility for others legally present in the United States. But as you mentioned, the Congressional Budget Office estimates that between 2025 and 2034, 1.1 million people will lose SNAP benefits. Another 1 million people, it estimates, could have those benefits reduced because they are no longer eligible for exemptions.
And grab the diapers from over there.
SNAP recipient Edward Lara says he's already meeting that requirement by volunteering here at Common Pantry.
It's very rewarding to help out a human being, you know.
Lara says he was a PACE bus driver for 6 years, then took a 1-year leave for medical reasons. leading him to receive SNAP benefits. What does it mean to you to receive it?
Oh, it helps you survive. You know, it's a hard world out here.
Laura says through volunteer work, he's also spent time visiting the sick and sending inspirational books to inmates.
If you're healthy, you could do it.
Examples of those who don't have to meet that work requirement are those who are pregnant, have a child 14 years of age or younger, or have a medically certified disability. With the new requirements starting on February 1st, Common Pantry Social Services Program Manager Abby Graney says some SNAP recipients have told her they're ready to lose those benefits.
I spoke with a woman just last week who decided it was better to just cancel her benefits because of the fear she had of not being able to meet those work requirements.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
How do they even know if they're about to lose their benefits?
Well, that's part of the big confusion here. Number one, you're talking about, as Eric mentioned, a program that some 42 million Americans depend on. But it's not like, there's a website that you can go to and type in your name and your credentials and figure out whether or not you're still eligible. Listen, the reality is that in some states, those benefits are going to evaporate tomorrow, and when the clock strikes midnight, for folks, especially for folks that can't prove their work history. But other states are going to try to at least give a little bit more of a runway, a little bit more of a buffer before starting to kind of wean people off of these programs. But when we talk to a lot of food banks, that is their big concern. It is the uncertainty. It is the hodgepodgeness, if you will, of this taking effect, and they're hearing concern from a lot of people that are dependent on these programs.
Excellent point and good insight from you both, Eric Mitchell and Alex Brochet. Thank you.
County, state health leaders, and the Greater Chicago Food Depository gathering this morning at Provident Hospital on the city's south side to make sure current SNAP benefit recipients can anticipate the sweeping changes.
We know this is stressful. No one should lose access to food because the rules are confusing or because they didn't know where to turn.
Access to food is not just about filling a plate. It is not just about calories. It is about fueling our bodies. It is about mental health. It is about preventing chronic health conditions.
So for anyone that is getting SNAP benefits, things are about to change drastically. So if you're able-bodied, you gotta go work 80 hours. You gotta do that at least. You can't just sit around, check the mailbox, and wait on your EBT card to come anymore. You got to get up, get out, and get something to go along with what they're going to give you, which ain't much, and it ain't never been much. Also, newly arrived immigrants and illegals will no longer be eligible. A lot of people will get lost and left behind because of this. It's supposed to be a part of the big, beautiful bill, but I don't see nothing beautiful about it. A lot of people are going to suffer. A lot of families are going to do without. They're just making it that much harder for people to receive the bare minimum from the government. At the same time, food stamps is a temporary fix. It's like a Band-Aid for a bullet wound. It was never designed for people to stay on it forever. And trust me, I understand there's people with mental health problems, children and veterans with disabilities that really count on these programs. They really need the assistance, you dig? I just hope everybody gets what they need. Because at this point, things are already exponentially high and people just can't afford shit. Especially if you're unemployed and you don't make a decent living wage, these changes are gonna hurt. But at the same time, this will have no effects on the elites. They paid out the kazoo. They got money to burn, money to blow. It's gonna affect the average working Joe. It's going down. So get ready. It's already started as of February 1st. And I mean, they're going city to city in every state. And the eligibility and requirements vary. Just be prepared. It's going to be that much harder to get SNAP benefits. The lines will be long. The call centers will be backed up. Yes, sir, you better believe things about to heat up in the streets. And oh man, things about to get real. Absolutely. Let me know what you think about the video. Leave a comment below. Also, click that like button if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Peace.